Thank you, Sally. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Mr. Robert Hutchings. I'll be chairing the hearing today. I'm joined on the panel by Ms. Michelle Duncan and Ms. Lynn Nesbitt. Representing the Assessment and Taxation Department, City of Winnipeg, is Mr. Ryan Valderrama. And our administrative personnel is Ms. Sally Caulfield. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, for information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questioning. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions based on the evidence presented today. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing item number 1 on our docket today. Ms. Caulfield, please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Ryan Valderrama.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please stand. State your full name. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Caulfield. First item on the docket today is item number 1, file number 23-123. Address is 894 St. Mary's Road, and we're dealing with a 2024 Realty Assessment Appeal. Mr. Valderrama, it's my understanding from your brief that there is a preliminary issue that we're going to deal with.
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's with regard to non-cooperation.
Okay. Would you mind reading the property into the record, please, and then we'll deal with that preliminary issue?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. As mentioned earlier, the file number is 23-123. It has a roll number of 08002529500. The property is located at 594 St. Mary's Road. We're dealing with the roll year of 2024 using reference date of April 1st, 2021. There's a split assessment on this property. The first one has an assessed value of $2,012,000. It is classified as a 20 and a liability of taxable. The second assessment has an assessed value of $524,000. It is classified as 60, other property, and a liability of taxable. And I am requesting for a non-cooperation And if a reduction in assessment is ordered, that it follow Section 54, 3.2 of the Municipal Assessment Act. If we're going to look at the page 2 of my brief, Mr. Chair, there are information years that weren't submitted. They were blank, meaning we didn't receive any response. And on page 11 and 12 are the non-compliant supporting documents from the Canada Post, confirming that the documents were sent to the address on file. That's all I have for the non-cooperation, Mr. Chair.
We're losing your sound there, Mr. Assessor.
I'm sorry?
We lost your sound at the very end there.
Oh, so on page 11 is the and 12, or page 11 and 12 are the supporting documents coming from Canada Post, confirming that the documents were sent to the address on file, Mr. Chair.
Was that better, Sally?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Valderrama. Does the applicant have any questions regarding the non-compliance request for information not received?
Yeah, I did not receive the assessment for 2023. We received all others, but I did not receive 2023. Because if I received it, I will appeal the amount was sent in 2023.
Okay, sir, what we're dealing with right now is the issue of whether you received a request for income and expense, and whether you did fill it out and return it to the assessment department.
Last year, yes, I found out we did receive all of them. I have another person who look after the business, which he's no longer with me now. So I looked, yes, I understand we did not send the income and the expense all these years.
Okay, Mr. Valderrama, any questions of the applicant?
None, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ms. Duggan, any questions of the applicant?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nesbitt, any questions?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand. So the assessor has said that the income and expense information hasn't been sent in since 2017. And you're agreeing with that, Mr. Applicant?
2017, did you receive 2018, 19? Yes, we never sent it. Yes, I agree, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. To the applicant, just to confirm, you did not respond, or you did not return those income and expense statement questionnaires, or this questionnaire that we're dealing with?
I thought it was done, but I found out it was not done.
Okay.
As I mentioned, I have somebody else who was looking after the business. And I found out a few things were not done, yes.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Nesbitt, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Mr. Valderrama, did you happen to ever follow up with the property owner, given that there was a history of non-compliance? You might have checked in to see why that was occurring, or have you done that?
No, there's it's just these documents that I have attached that I have that it was confirmed that it was sent to the owner.
Okay.
So I have no follow-up or any paperwork.
And one of the things we're not seeing is the actual letter in your package that was sent to the applicant, correct? You didn't include it?
No, I was unable to retrieve that on our records.
Pardon me, you were unable to retrieve
it
the letter?
from the record. No, yeah.
Why would that be?
I tried to look at our files. I just during the filing of this, I wasn't able to retrieve it or find it.
Was it the standard letter that was sent to all commercial property owners?
Yes, it is standard letter, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Boardroom.
Thank you, Ms. Nesbitt. Ms. Duncan, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, was there any of the letters and any of the other preceding years available in your package?
No, there's none.
Okay.
Since we're dealing with 2021, sorry. Since we're dealing with 22 reference year 2021, where I just have what I have here is just for the 2020 confirmation from Canada Post.
Okay, thank you. No other questions.
Thank you. All my questions have been answered from the questions asked by the panel members. I do have a question directly to the applicant, please, sir.
Yes.
I just want to confirm that I'll just summarize here. You confirmed that there was an agent acting on your behalf to receive this income and expense questionnaire.
Yeah, yes.
That be correct? Okay. And you spoke with that agent and you confirmed that. Did you confirm that it was received and not returned, or are you just thinking that it wasn't received?
Yeah, I found a bunch of document was not done on his file. That's why I fired him for lots of other things was not done properly. I have somebody working and he was let go for not doing his work.
So just to confirm, you're saying that the forms weren't returned at all, or they were improperly returned?
It was not returned.
Was not returned. And you know that for a fact?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any requirement for summary, Mr. Valderrama,
I have none, Mr. Chair.
regarding this issue?
None.
Is there anything else to say? The applicant have anything else to say regarding this non-compliance?
Did you ever receive anything for any years, last year or 2 years ago or something like this?
Pardon me?
I'm asking him if he received any statement since. Any statement, what was it, like income and expense, anything was received? Or when's the last time you received it?
Well, we're not, it doesn't matter about yeah, it doesn't matter about the history. We're just dealing with this 2020 mailer or an income expense mailer. So that's what we're dealing with today. Is your question whether the assessor received the 2020 mailer?
Yes, or 2021 or something.
Mr. Valderrama, are you aware of receiving that mailer that we're speaking about? The 2020 mailer that would reflect, excuse me, yeah.
No, the 2020 wasn't received, and that's the that's supported by the documents I've attached on page 11. Okay.
Do any of the panel members have any questions arising? Lynn, you look.
No additional questions. Thank you.
Actually, I do have one. So
okay.
where is the address on file, Mr. Assessor? What's the address on file?
I do not have the attached one. Where the address on file is. It's not on the brief, Mr. Chair.
So you don't know the address on file as far as where the mailer went?
The information is not on the brief, so I wasn't able to attach it on the brief, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and then one for the applicant, if you please. Where do you get your business mail? Where do you get, what mailing address? Does it go to 894 St. Mary's, or where does it go to, Mr.?
We moved to unit 100, 878 St. Mary's Road.
And when did you move there?
3 years ago.
Okay. Okay, thank you. No other questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. To the applicant, have you updated your address with the City of Winnipeg?
As updated was the water, hydro. Most of the department has the address, yes.
Does the assessment department have a change of address?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right. We are going to recess and go in camera and discuss the request for non-cooperation. Ms. Caulfield, can you please put us in camera? Thank you, Sally. I will now call the hearing back to order. The board has considered the evidence presented by both parties in the request by the assessor for non-compliance for not submitting the required evidence. And it is our opinion that we've found there to be a failure to provide requested information, and that the burden of proof on all matters at issue rests with the applicant. Excuse me. Sorry. To the applicant, you're going to proceed first, but in this case, I'm going to ask the assessor to present the evidence, or pardon me, the physical properties of the subject property, and then we'll go with the applicant starting to present their evidence first. Okay. So, Mr. Valderrama, can you please present the property, the physical characteristics and the details of the assessment, please?
That would be page 1, if I may clarify, Mr. Chair.
Yes, page 1, and maybe a summary of the valuations of the two components of the assessment.
Summary, the page 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a summary.
I'll do that.
The physical characteristics driving the split in the assessment.
Okay. All right, I'll do that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, on page 1 of my brief, again, the file number is 23-123. And the property has a roll number of 08002529500. The property is located at 894 St. Mary's Road. Again, we're dealing with the roll year 2024 using reference date of April 1st, 2021. We have split assessments as I indicated earlier. The first one has an assessed value of $2,012,000 with a classification of 20 and a liability of taxable. The second assessment has an assessed value of $524,000 with a classification of 60 and a liability of taxable. The property is a residential apartment multi-use with 1 building, 3 stories, an actual and effective year built of 2014. It has 10 suites with 7 indoor parking, and 3 outdoor parking as per our records. The land area, it is zoned as C2, and the land area is 6,100 square feet. The plant area is 6,113 square feet, and a basement area of 0. It has a gross floor area of 11,785 square feet, a leasable area of 1,873 square feet. And on my page 4, I do have the income valuation summary. The first one is valued under income approach, which is the 60T. It has an estimated market value of $524,000. And the second assessment is valued under income approach as well. It is the 20T or the apartment section. And Is that all, Mr. Chair? You want me to?
Could we get a detail of the, I guess, page 5, please, the split, the details of the multifamily and the office?
Okay, on page 5, I do have the multifamily. It has 10 suites with an average monthly rent per suite of about $1,229.25, which gives a potential annual rent of $147,510. And the second section is the office section. It has 2 premises. The first premise has a 931 square feet area with a rent per square foot of about $20.21. And the second premise has an area of 942 square feet with a rent per square foot of $20.20. And I think that's it, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
To the applicant, I'm going to have the assessor present all this evidence again when it's his turn. But with the non-compliance granted, we're going to let you go first, but I'll allow you to ask questions on this information later, okay? So we would like to go to your evidence, and if you bear with us 1 second, we're going to find the evidence submitted by yourself. And the evidence that you submitted this morning, was that rebuttal? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
Or is that just additional information you wanted to present?
It was additional, whatever. It was signed before.
Additional. Okay. Okay. If you could start, please. Does everybody have the applicant's information?
Okay.
Yeah, what document are we starting with, Mr. Chair?
Well, I did number the pages 1, 2, 3 at least. If you can see the page.
I think we're on I believe we're on item number 10 in file share. It's a picture of is it the assessment or the tax bill, I guess?
I guess I'm talking about the stuff I sent today, the document I gave you today.
Okay, so you'd like to start there? Okay, bear with us then. Now, where are we? Where is that? Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with the latest evidence that Sally added this morning.
Yeah, page number 1.
Okay, and 3 days ago, about an hour ago. Okay, so that would be 23-133. Is that correct?
23-123 applicant brief/rebuttal.
Yeah, with page 1 in handwritten on the first page. Is that right?
1, yes, 1 was handwritten, yes.
Does everybody have it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, okay, sir. Please proceed.
I'm going to speak slowly because my accent is so bad. So I hope you understand.
Yes, take your time.
Okay, as you know, this building is what constructed building in 2014. I have 10 suites, 10 apartments, 6 1-bedrooms, and 4 2-bedrooms. And I have 2 commercial on the main floor. This building have like the 1-bedrooms is very tiny, small bedrooms, which is about 500 square feet. The 2 bedrooms, I have from 680 square feet to almost 725 square feet. The city of Winnipeg said total is 11,785 for the 2 floors. That means each floor will be about 5,892 square feet. Also, they are mentioned each unit, like each apartment, about 1,179 square feet. So this is a huge difference between 500 square feet to 1,179 square feet. Okay, if he's saying the land size is 6,100 square feet, if we have the land size at 6,100 square feet, and the building size on each floor is 5,892, how possible this will be done? I have parking outside for almost outside, about almost close to 1,600 square feet outside around the building. We have to leave 10 feet between my side to the neighbors. Then in the back, I have to leave 25 feet or 20 feet in the back. How is this possible? Will be 5,892 per floor. Anyways, this is one issue. So I believe my side is each floor rental for the apartment about 3,021 square feet, and the common area about 907 for the common area. This is regarding the size of the building. I think the city did mistake, or there is mistake here somehow regarding the size.
I'm just going to ask you a question while you're putting these numbers out. Are you referring to the construction cost per square foot?
We're not the cost. I'm talking about the size.
The square footage of the apartment. Okay.
Yes. Assessment saying each apartment about 1,179 square feet.
Okay.
I'm saying is between 500 to 700 square feet each, like for the whole, like some apartment 500, some apartment 6, some apartment 7 plus. This is a big difference between 1,100 to 500 and 700. Is a huge difference. And if you calculate, if you look at the building size, the land size is 6,100 square feet. This is the size of the land. So when you add a building, you have to go by the regulation. You have to leave 10 feet between the neighbors. So this is about almost like 1,000 feet from the side. Behind for parking is about almost another.
Yeah. Okay. I think we understood that was what you first said.
Yes.
Since this is okay. So you're referring to I don't mean to interrupt here, but you're referring to the commercial portion only right now, or you
for the whole building?
Okay. Okay.
About the whole building. The whole building, the land is 6,100. I built
okay.
Main floor, second floor, third floor. So they are referring second and third floor total of 11,785 square feet. So if you divide this by 2, will be 5,895. Do you think I'm going to have only 300 square feet outside? The balance from this number to 6,100 is about 300 square feet.
Okay.
So there is a mistake here somehow there is something wrong over here.
Okay. So you disagree with the assessed size of the building?
For the apartment.
Of the apartments, okay.
All apartment, and yes.
Okay.
And I really like if somebody can come from the assessment, they come to check the building inside.
Yeah. Okay, so we're dealing with the income approach to value. So what we're interested in
the income value, like they are saying.
How would you like to detail the rental rates that you're getting for the apartments, assigning a value to the 1-bedroom and then the 2-bedroom?
Okay, since you, the assessment say it should be at 1,229.
Are you referring to your document? Are you looking at page 5 of your document?
Page 5.
Yes.
No, this page 5, yeah, 1 second. Yeah, okay, page 5, this is the total amount. That's 117,600. This is
Right.
the total amount per year.
Okay.
Okay.
How would you like to go through that with, these are the actual rents, I believe?
Actually, this one exactly, I'm doing like what they do, like the income value summary. So I went exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So
How-
I have 6 1-bedroom. I have 4 unit 2-bedroom. So total income is 117,600, and exactly same like they doing 3.20%. So 3,000. So anyways, by the end of it is net 64,150. And the other one for the commercial net operating income 20,774.
Okay.
That's exactly, I'm going exactly but what they are doing. But I have another in page 7 and 8. This is exactly the expense for 21 and 22. So all details, the commercial how much, and for the residential 1-bedroom how much, for the residential 2-bedroom how much. And I have all expense 7 and 8.
Okay. Just for clarification, I'm looking on page 5 and you've come up with 2 income streams, one for the office and one for the apartments. It
Yes,
looks like you've used the assessor's workup to find your vacancy rate and your expenses,
yes.
and you've come up with a net operating income. And do you have a capitalization rate that you're applying to those net operating incomes?
Well, this one is not. I'm going I'm just giving idea exactly how the city work it, but this is not my expense.
Okay.
This is not my expense. Just I'm doing by the same guy they are doing. Just to prove, even if I go by them, it is less than whatever they are saying. Like is a way less. So I'm going. The number I have here is the net income, my income, and that is the same way like they are doing their whatever.
Yeah, that's the way the city. That's the way they're mandated to come up with the valuation. Okay.
So, and even if I go exactly the way they are doing it, it is less the amount is less. But if I go to number 7 and 8, this is the original. That's how much exactly it cost me. Number 7 and 8.
Okay, so you've done an income approach here. I don't think you've applied a capitalization rate from what I can see. Now so now how about we get to your previous document where you're what you think the valuation is?
Okay, I think that it should be like the building is gone. It is older now, and I have a big problem really. I have like birds coming and living in the building, and this is going to cost me almost 360,000, which I cannot do it right now because I have to cover the building with hardy board. As you can see, some of the pictures, I have some stuff living there outside.
Okay,
I believe the value for the building should be between 1.4 to 1.8.
could I ask what page you're referring to?
I'm referring about the cost. If we take the building cost, like the building, assuming the building is 11,000, I didn't calculate complete size of the building. 11,782. If we go by the average price, 179 per foot, or even 180 per foot, 180 per foot, this should come to close what I see. So I think add the stuff.
I am just looking for the document where your final estimate of value is, where you're declaring what you think the building should be. Can you point us to that direction? Are you going? Yeah.
I don't think I have this page. I don't think I have this page, but I have a few. Please, if you can go to page number 4. Are you at number 4?
Yes. So you're looking at the assessment values, is that right?
Yes, assessment value.
Okay.
I need just to try to get something from the city as well.
Okay, so on page 4, I'm just trying to get a clear picture here. So you're comparing the assessment of your subject property to 917 St. Mary's Road. Yeah, in your assessment or in your information for presenting information at the Board of Revision, I think it was made clear that we do not compare assessments. So do you have any evidence to come up with an estimated value that you think the assessment should be revised to?
Well, a reason I did the conversion, like about this two, you don't compare. The city compare between other buildings. If you look at the city of Winnipeg,
we haven't heard the assessor's information yet, but normally they would, or they always come up with comparable rents for the income side and comparable rents that apartment buildings are achieving in the area. So they're not comparing their assessment, they're looking at evidence of market value of leases for commercial and also rental rates. So
we are comparing, we are comparing the rental rate over there and my building.
Okay, where are you doing that?
If you look at the city of Winnipeg for rent, page number 6, city of Winnipeg.
On your page 6?
City of Winnipeg, the assessment for this, the information from the city.
Okay. And sorry, this is sideways. So this is for apartments or?
Yes, for the
commercial
city of Winnipeg.
Right. But is this for the commercial portion or the
for the apartments?
For the apartments? Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sorry to ask so many questions, but I'm just trying to help everybody work through this information presented. Okay. So anything else you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, when the reason I'm comparing like my building to other, like I'm comparing my building is completely wood and steel stacks. The other building is concrete, is high class basically, include elevators. They have all toys. Like is nice building, almost double the size, lots of apartments.
Yes, but sir, that is the assessment values, right?
Yeah, well, they have it like
as I tried to explain, we're not going to compare assessments. We're looking for evidence of market value. So we're not going to. Well, the panel will decide how much weight, but we don't accept evidence of assessment comparisons. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I believe it should be 1.3, and would you like some evidence why?
Okay.
Most of the items sold in the last year average between about 175 to 189, 200 or two. That's per square foot. This is the average what was sold last between this year and last year. And if you look at the assessment department, just 1 year they increased my property almost 800,000. 1 year, 800,000. The assessment value.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did contact them, and they told me, well, that's computer generated by computer, not by them. The person I spoke to apologized, and he didn't know why. And after I told him it is generated by computer, and he asked me why, because why I don't send the income and the expense information. Like absolutely, like it is too high. Whatever it is, way too high.
Okay.
It's overpriced.
Mr. Valderrama, would you like to explain why those assessments would go up in those reassessment years?
Again, Mr. Chair, we are basing our assessment on market valuation, a mass appraisal methodology, Mr. Chair. So whatever's going on with the market, the trend follows with our models and our calculation of it, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And when the applicant refers to the increases in value every 2 years, that is a result of looking at the market and reassessing the property?
Yes, we do reassess the property every so often, Mr. Chair. In our case, every 2 years, Mr. Chair.
Yes, okay. Thank you. All right. Anything else you'd like to tell us about your property, sir? I think we understand where you're coming from here. And the panel decide what relevance we'll put on each facet you've presented.
How did you come with this 1,127?
You know, we're going to allow the assessor to present evidence, and we'll have the questioning on the square footage. Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Valderrama, any questions of the applicant?
None at the moment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Duggan, any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, just on page 1, what are you referring to at the bottom when you're talking about the average prices in the neighborhood per square foot between 200 and 212? Well, what is that referring to? Is that
This sum, okay, if you look at page number 5, there's some, if you look at the last few items, you will see some of the condos sold for almost like 175 per square feet.
okay? And then my other thing, just to clarify, so you feel the total square footage for the 10 apartments and the 2 commercial areas is how much? What do you feel the total square?
No, the apartment size, I have no problem with the commercial. The commercial is okay. The apartment size is almost, they have it almost double than what should be. I don't know how does it come with this.
Okay, so what do you feel the apartment size square footage should be?
It is like we checked it. The one bedroom, there is some one bedroom 506 square feet.
Yeah, no, what's the total?
The total for the apartment only without the cabin 3,021.
So when you add up 2 times 506, 2 times
When
5,
you add the cabin, I can tell you. Almost 3,928 square feet with the cabin.
okay, so when you add up all the rental rates, or square footage rates for those 10 apartments.
About 4,000 square feet per floor.
Okay, say that last part again. What is the total?
About 4,000 square feet per floor.
Okay, yeah, so 4137 when I added it up,
So,
and then you agreed with the commercial square footage, the 930.
1,800. So that's okay for the commercial, yes.
Okay, no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nesbitt, any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, I do have a question and it relates to your page 5, please.
Yes.
So I think this might have been raised during the discussion. You provided us with an income workup resulting in a net operating income for the 2 components of the property. And then what did you use as a capitalization rate to get to the value?
This is the one I did exactly like the city. The same, if you look at the city, when they send the city page number,
Right.
4, I did it exactly just to prove, even at their calculation, the amount is less.
Okay.
That's why I just added, but the really correct information is the one at number 7 and 8. This is the correct information.
Okay. So when you say on your page 2, nope, sorry, looking for it, page 4, at the bottom it said, you say, I believe the value of 894 St. Mary's Road should be between 1.3 million and 1.5 million.
Correct, yes.
You did not, how did you derive that? Just on the basis of an amount per square foot, or did you rely on the income value summary?
Based on the square footage.
Okay.
Based on like I built it in 2014.
Okay,
so
yeah.
2014 and 2023 is almost 9 years. Now the building is going older, and I really have some problem with the building at the time. I have a huge problem outside the building, which I have some birds living inside, making like nest outside the building. I have to do something with the stair because the concrete start coming out. The side stucco, I have to remove this. I have to put hardwood board right away because the material was pouring on the building is not the right material. So I have to fix this immediately, like maybe within 2 years. So based on this and based on the income, based on the size, so there is a conflict between me and the assessment department about the size of the apartment. And I'm really requesting somebody to come from the assessment to come to check the apartment size, because this is the big difference. They are saying 1,000 plus, I'm saying 500. This is a big difference. So based on this, it should be no more than 1.5. Like in 2017, they assessed my building at 1.3 million. Then 2 years later, it went up to 1.8. Yes, 17, it was almost a total 1.379. 5 years later, they went to 1.8. Then after 2020, almost from 1.8 to almost to 2.5, this is huge difference. From 1.8 to 2.5.
Okay.
The size is not right. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. No
No
further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Nesbitt. To the applicant, I'm looking at page 1. So the 6 apartments of 1 bedroom, how much rent are you getting per suite?
Oh, okay. For the total,
No, just individually, please. What is the rent charge?
I have some unit at 900. I have some unit at 850.
850 or
850 and the 900.
okay. So we have 4 apartments, 6 apartments at approximately 875 each if we average it.
No, 850, 900, 950.
950. Okay.
850, 900 and 950.
Okay. So we have an average of about $900. Would that be fair?
Yeah,
For
about
the 1 bedrooms and the 2 bedrooms, what are you
I have 1100 and 1150.
1100 and 1150. Okay. You did detail your expenses on page somewhere here.
7 and 8.
Page 7 and 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have here the 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms.
Okay. I'm just reviewing this page 7 and 8, your expense report here.
Yes.
So you've got the residential one on page 7 and the commercial on page 8, I believe. Oh no, that's a combination.
No. Commercial, 2 units on top there in the same page.
Okay.
That's 21 and the 22. One for 21, 122.
Ah, right. Okay, I see. All right.
So 21, the commercial is 24,991.
Yes.
Residential 1 bedroom 64,800.
Okay.
Residential 2 bedroom 52,800. Total 142,591.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I've got it there. Okay. And the lease for the commercial, how much are you what is the net rent you're getting on the commercial portion per square foot?
$20 per square foot, 1,666 per year, per month, sorry.
So 1666.
Yes.
For both units or one unit or?
One unit, the second unit was not rented for a while.
So they're both leased out. They're not owner occupied. Is that correct?
This year, only in February 23, it was somebody there. In February, February 22, I think.
Okay.
Somebody leased the second one.
Have you calculated what is the lease per square foot?
$20.
20? 20?
20, yes.
Okay, 20. Okay.
I have the lease here with both. I forgot about minutes. I have.
Okay, that is all my question. Okay, Mr. Valderrama, we're going to get to your evidence right away, please. Bear with us 1 second here. Where are you? There we are. Okay. Does everybody have it?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Valderrama, when you're ready, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to start on page 3 of my evidence.
Yours?
If I may turn or have everyone turn to page 3.
Page 3 to the applicant.
Applicant. Okay.
Yeah, this is the assessor's evidence. Do you have that document? Okay. When you're ready, Mr. Valderrama, please.
Okay, on page 3 are some photos or aerial photos of the subject property. The first one on top is the actual building, and the one at the bottom is the map where it is. And on page 4 is the income valuation summary. Again, there are 10 units with an average monthly rent per unit of $1,229.25 for the apartment. And again, as I mentioned earlier, there is a split assessment on this one. The first one, I'll go through the income valuation summary. The first one is the 60T or the commercial section. It has a gross potential rent of $37,842. It has a vacancy rate of 11%, or vacancy in terms of dollars of about $4,163. Gives an effective gross income of $33,679. It has a shortfall rate of $12, or translating into shortfall dollars of about $1,229. The expense rate is 3%. So in terms of dollars, the expenses is $1,010. So the net operating income comes down to $31,440. Using the capitalization rate of 6%, the capitalized income is $524,000 rounded. The next assessment is the apartment. It has a class and liability of 20T. The gross potential rent is $147,510. A vacancy rate of 3.2%, which is in terms of dollars of around $4,720. The effective gross income is $142,790. Sorry. And the expense ratio is 43.64%, or $62,314. The net operating income is $80,476. Applying the capitalization rate of 4%, the capitalized income is $2,011,900, or $2,012,000 rounded. On page 5, I've mentioned this earlier. It's the summary for the rents. On page 6 are some rent comparables for the apartment. So there are 3. The first one is located at 250 St. Anne's Road. It has an average monthly rent per unit of $1,563. Page 2, comparable to, it's located at 803 St. Mary's Road. It has an average monthly rent per unit of $1,350. And the third comparable is located at 917 St. Mary's Road. It has an average monthly rent per unit of $1,354. On the next page, page 7, are some comparable leases. The first one is located at 1276 Archibald Street. It has net rent per square foot of $20. Second one is located at 1274 Archibald Street. It has a net rent per square foot of $19.99. And the third one is located at 600 St. Anne's Road. It has a net rent per square foot of $22 per square foot. On page 8 is the capitalization rates chart. We do have some external sources here, and I'll just read through it and go through it quickly, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
A direct capitalization method is used to convert a property's single year of income into an indication of value by dividing the estimated net operating income by an appropriate capitalization rate. Capitalization rates can be derived from properties that have sold by dividing each property's net operating income by its sale price. For the 2023 general reassessment, or April 1st, 2021 reference date, capitalization rates were derived from model-generated estimates of net operating income and sale prices that were time-adjusted to April 1st, 2021. The assessed value produced by the application of these model-generated cap rates were compared to sale prices, and assessment to sale price ratios were calculated. The resulting ratio statistics for the assessment and taxation departments' income-producing models satisfy the standards specified and set forth in the Standard on Ratio Studies as approved in April 2013 and published by the International Association of Assessing Officers, or IAAO. ATD's capitalization rates are further supported by comparison with real estate market reports from Colliers International, Canada, CBRE National Research, and Cushman & Wakefield. The following chart below compares ATD's capitalization rates with the published rates by fitting ATD's rates into the property type categories using these reports. ATD's property type classes are more comprehensive so that they cover every property type in the city. The 20th and 80th percentiles show the range of capitalization rates used by ATD for 60% of the parcel within the specific property type. In many cases, the published rates fall between 20th and 80th percentiles, indicating the tenability of the capitalization rates derived by the ATD. In this case, I am looking at multifamily section of the chart. So we have from 4.8 to 5.6% from 20th to 80th percentile for the multifamily, and for the office, it's between, for this one, I believe this is an OFS, so it's between 5.6 to 6.9% for the capitalization rate. And on page 9 are some capitalization rates evidence. These are sales for multifamily. We have a few in here. First one is located at 2390 McPhillips with a derived capitalization rate of 4.79%. The next one is located at 700 St. Mary's Road. It has a capitalization rate of 3.6%. The third one is located at 203 Bertrand. It has a derived capitalization rate of 4.77%. The next one is located at 555 Corridon, which has a derived cap rate of 5.74%. Next one is located at 677 Maryland and a calculated cap rate of 5.5%. And the last one is located at 32 Arden. It has a capitalization rate calculated at 5.05%. And that's my presentation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Valderrama. Does the applicant have any questions of the assessor's evidence presented?
Yeah, if you go back in the picture number 3, page number 3, where is the photo is? First photo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the parking behind, how many square feet do you think is? See the park behind the building?
Yeah, there is I can see a tiny space in there. Not sure what the area is on that one.
Like roughly, like isn't like normally you have 25 feet by whatever how wide the building is. If you look at the picture, there is parking behind.
Yeah, I don't have the information or the calculation of the square footage on that one. On my evidence, I don't have it. So I'm not sure how to calculate it. Just looking at the picture.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying this, I just want you to believe there is some mistake on the size. That's why I want you to figure out the parking, how much roughly, how many square feet, and the size of the building, how many square feet, which is empty. Total size of the land 6,100, as you agree, correct?
I'm sorry, what was that for?
What's the total size of the land?
The assessed square footage is 6,100 square feet.
6,100, correct. And for the apartment size per floor, what's the total footage per floor?
Let me check if I do have it here.
Yeah, you have it on page 6.
I have the gross floor area for the entire building of about 11,785 square feet.
That's for the 2 floor, isn't it?
That's for the entire building, yes.
Includes the main floor or 2 floors? Is this for the apartment only or for downstairs?
It's the gross floor area, the entire area of the building. 11,785 square feet.
So that's for the 3 floors?
For all the floors.
So absolutely there is mistakes. Does this include the parking behind the building, underneath the building? There is parking underneath the building, is it?
No, these are the floor areas of the building. It doesn't include the land for the parking.
Not underneath or behind? Does not include behind, but underneath the building?
This is only for the building, the gross floor area.
How possible? You said per unit 1,179 per apartment. Gross floor area per unit square foot 1,179.
I'm sorry, where which page are we on?
You said gross floor per unit, 1 unit is 1,179 square feet.
Which page is that? I'm sorry.
Number 6, sorry. Number 6,
Page.
the gross floor area.
Per unit, yes. That's for subject property on page 6. Yes, correct.
So if you go time 10, it's going to give you the same amount like above 11,000. If it's 10 unit time 1,179, isn't it close?
You know what, maybe I'll intervene here, Mr. Valderrama. Is that measurement, that is just determined by dividing the number of suites by the gross floor area? It doesn't state how big the individual suites are, is that right?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
That's for the entire building, correct.
Yeah, to the applicant, that doesn't indicate the suite size. That's just dividing the gross floor area by the number of units. So it's not saying that the suites are 1,179 square feet each.
Okay, is this time 10 or time 12? Then?
Yeah, I just wanted to, that's all that is. It's just a description dividing the number of units by the square footage. It doesn't.
How many units then? For how many units?
That's for 10, Mr. Chair.
10, not 12.
10 units.
Okay, 10 units.
So that's just a description of the building. It's not saying how big the suites are. So can we move on from that one?
No, we didn't finish, sir. We said 10 units. 10 units, that's for the apartment.
Yes.
Okay, the apartment, the commercial will be extra, is that correct?
Is different.
Commercial will be extra.
So it's just basically a straightforward calculation from the gross floor area and using the units of the apartment. As this one is a calculation or looking at the apartment side.
Okay, is this apartment or the commercial as well?
It's both.
So time 12, not 10.
The reason why it's only apartment is because the page 6 is only comparing or looking at apartments also. So it's just using the total number of units from the apartment side.
Because I have 2 commercial. Does this include this calculation or not?
No.
Okay, so it is for the 10 apartments. That means each apartment is almost 1,179 square feet.
Okay, to the applicant, I'm just going to state that the board, all the panel members have an understanding that this isn't referring to the square footage of individual apartments. Just as in the comparables, if you look at the number of suites in comp number 1, 2, and 3, it's just a mathematical calculation. It doesn't mean that it's kind of a misnomer to say that's the gross floor area per unit. It's not. It doesn't indicate the suite size. It indicates the total square footage in the building divided by the number of suites. But we don't put any weight in those sizes because they don't indicate what the unit sizes are for us.
Yeah.
We understand that it includes the commercial portion I think that's what you're trying to get at.
So 11,000 includes the commercial, is it?
Yes. Yeah. But we've heard under testimony that your suites are only 500, 520. We understand your suite size.
Yeah.
We understand that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. That's it for me. I don't have.
Any other questions for the assessor?
Not for now. No.
Yeah. And we understand your concern about the size of the building being the same as the land area. And you're saying that the parking in the back makes that impossible to be equal to the land area. Is that was your point, right?
Yeah, back and side too, because I have to lift.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we understand that. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, and in front. Also, yeah, for the assessor, just 1 second, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Page number 6 too. Number 6. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just
Okay.
It's okay.
Thank you to the applicant.
Yeah.
Ms. Nesbitt, any questions of the assessor?
I do. Mr. Valderrama, I'm also looking at your page 6, your comparables. So our subject property is a mix of 1 and 2 bedroom suites. I note that in your comparables, none of them have 1 bedroom suites. In fact, some of them only have 2 bedrooms and some they have a preponderance of 3 bedrooms. So when looking at your average monthly rent per unit, would the fact that it's 2 and 3 bedrooms drive the rent upwards for your comparables?
Sorry, ma'am, not to interrupt, but yes, mathematically it will pull up on the average monthly rent per unit.
Okay, so then I guess what I'm trying to get at is, are these good comparables for our subject property?
I believe they are, Mr. Chair. In this area, I considered the area closest to the subject property, and I was hoping for the total units to be close to the subject property, Mr. Chair. And it's just unfortunate that it's really difficult to find the perfect comparables to use for the subject property with only 1 and 2 bedroom unit mix.
Okay, so Mr. Boardroom, I understand that you were looking to find properties with comparable number of units. So in terms of suite mix, that wasn't a consideration?
It was also as much as I could. However, in this area, a specific area very close to the subject property, it's just difficult to choose and find the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom unit mix.
Okay. You have one comparable property with an effective year built of 1961. Do you
Correct.
see that as comparable to a 2014 build?
Well, in that case, Mr. Chair, if we're going to look at the age on this one, the 250 St. Anne's was built in 1961, which is older and commands more average monthly rent per unit, considering that it has 2 and 3 bedroom units. So in that case, a newer one may also command or maybe demand for a higher average monthly rent per unit, if that's the case.
So then is it comparable to our subject property?
In terms of asking average monthly rent per unit, it may be comparable, Mr. Chair.
Okay. My other question relates to your capitalization rate. For your apartments, you use 4%. That is outside the percentile, the 20th to 80th percentile.
Correct.
Where the lowest one that the city uses in the 20th percentile is 4.8, which is already pretty low compared to most other outside sources also. Can you explain your 4% cap rate?
I understand that it is outside of the 20th percentile. However, the 20th and 80th percentile only comprise of 60% of the stock in the city. That would mean that there is still 40% lying outside the 20th and 80th percentile in the inventory of the city.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And if we continue on page 9, there's a sale back in 2020 located at 700 St. Mary's. It was built in 1961. It has a calculated cap rate of 3.6%. So I believe that the 4% is not far off from what the market is willing to accept as cap rate.
So what are the factors in I'm assuming this is all model driven?
The income workup, yes, correct.
Yeah. So what would be the factors then in your model selecting a 4% cap rate?
Mainly, it's more on the age, the size, and the location of the property.
Okay. What about the size? What about the size that would select a low cap rate?
It's the square footage of the property. That's being, I believe the model is looking at on that one, on the size factor.
Is this considered small, medium, large?
9 unit. It's more on the smaller side.
So does that make it more desirable to the market, or?
In terms of how you're going to look at the term desirable, I would say there would be more buyers with these types of rental properties, because they would be more on the smaller scale. So the people are buying or entering in the market, this would be a good starting size to look at.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Valderrama. Oh, when was it last inspected?
Oh, I don't have that information, so I'm not sure when this one was last inspected.
So nothing in your file that says that?
None, no.
Okay.
Don't.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nesbitt. Ms. Duncan, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, so size was built into the city cap rate, yet there seems to be a discrepancy in the size of the space. So if it hasn't been inspected, how do you know the entire space is 11,785?
I believe the building was added based on the permits that were on file.
Do you have those permits?
I don't have them attached on this evidence for that information. Yeah, no, I don't have it attached on the evidence.
Okay, and then just for my curiosity, it's a 3-story building. So what's on each story?
What do you mean? What's on each story?
What's on each story? Like commercial, apartment? I get that. Is there apartments on 2 stories and commercial on 1, or is it underground parking and 1 for commercial and 1 for apartments? What is it like? What's the building like?
Typically for this type of an apartment block, the commercial usually is on the main floor, and then all the rest are apartments.
It like in the basement and on the upper?
On this one, there's no basement on this one. So all the upper levels are typically for this type of apartment are all apartment units, and the commercial typically are on the main floor.
Okay, thank you. No further questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. Mr. Valderrama, first of all, okay, I'm going to start on page 2 with the photo, or pardon me, page 3. So we do have 3 stories. Is it correct that the first main floor is the commercial portion?
I'm sorry, the
Main floor is the commercial location?
Typically for an apartment, I would I observe that all the commercials are on the main floor.
Okay,
So
I will ask the applicant. The applicant, is the commercial on the main floor and the apartments are on floor number 2 and 3?
Yes, the main floor 2 unit commercial, second floor 5 apartment, 3 1 bedroom, 2 1 bedroom, third floor typical like second floor.
Okay. I'm going to ask both parties, are we in agreement with the square footage? Mr. Valderrama, you're saying that the square footage on the commercial portion is, 1,873 square feet in 2 units. Does the applicant agree with that square footage measurement?
That's very close, yes.
Okay, so you agree with that 1,873? Okay. Yes. 10 units of apartments. I don't know, Mr. Valderrama, if you're going to be able to answer this or not, but I'm going to ask you. Page 1, the summary of the site property description, and this is related to the applicant asking you. The land area is 6,100 square feet. The plan area is actually larger than the land area by 13 square feet. When we look at the photo, the building looks smaller than the land area because of the parking along the back lane and the side yard. Would you agree with that?
I would agree that there is a small space of parking at the back. To calculate land area and the land area, I'm not sure what happened on this one. Why is pretty close number in there?
Not close.
Yeah, except it doesn't. The plan area is taking up the full lot, and yet there's parking and empty or side yard allowances. So that makes it either the land area measurement is wrong declared on this form, or the plan area is wrong. Do you see where I'm going with this from the photo?
Yes, I understand the concern there, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure why it's taking up the space, or the plan area is taking up the entire lot space. Land area.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, the side yard side wall is flush with the sidewalk, city property. But
Yes.
up here where the cars parked, there's definitely square footage. Now, the front of the building is built along the sidewalk, zero clearance. We can't really, it looks like there isn't much, it looks like it's butting into the property on the top there. It's actually angled. The building's actually angled off and the subject property is built right alongside that. Okay, so, but I guess you can't, I think you earlier stated that it was based on a permit submitted for construction of the new building in 2014.
Correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. In regards to the question by Ms. Nesbitt about the comparisons, it looks like you stuck with the busier route, as is the subject property on St. Mary's and St. Anne's Road, but chose to pick larger number of bedroom suite mix. That would be accurate, I guess. Yeah. And you are using for the workup on page, where are we?
Page 4, Mr. Chair. The
Yes,
workup.
page 4. There we go. So you're using how much are you using per suite for the income on the, I think it was 1,200 and, there we are,
20.
page 5. Yeah, 1,229 per suite for 10 suites, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And that's based on, that was model driven, I guess.
Yes, it is model derived parameter, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think that is all my questions. Any questions arising from the panel members before we continue?
No
No
questions for me.
Okay.
No
Thank you. Okay.
Speak up.
Can I ask the,
Yes, I'm sorry. Does the applicant have any questions arising?
yes, please. On number 6, was the city, for the planner, assessor, sorry. For each apartment, you said about 1,229. Is this for 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms? How did you calculate this? You said for the 10 suite.
It's
is this 1,229 for what? For the 1 bedroom? For the 2 bedroom? What?
It's the average, Mr. Chair, of all of the bedroom units.
So it's average.
It is average of the all bedroom units.
Because you said this is like I have the building next door, 888 St. Mary's.
Yeah.
One bedroom.
You know what, to the applicant, I know where you're going here, but the panel has a full understanding of what you've told us that you're getting for the suites, different size suites.
Yes.
We have the assessor's evidence at $1,230 per square foot based on his comparables. And we have an understanding of where the assessor's coming from with his valuation. We have an understanding of what your income is on the property.
But
Yeah.
like he's comparing my building to other high-class buildings.
Yes,
High-class. One other building with elevator, bigger, for almost 1,500 square feet, because
Yes.
I know the building.
Yes.
This
We understand.
comparing me to some high-class. I'm a standard. My building is a standard, not high-class.
I know. And Mr. Applicant, we have an understanding of the evidence you presented.
Okay.
Your reasoning for that, be assured of that. And we have an understanding of the assessors presenting evidence, and the panel in camera will decide on the evidence presented and base our decision on that evidence presented, okay?
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So, Mr. Valderrama, any requirement for summary?
I don't, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does the applicant have as I explained, we have a clear understanding of the income you're getting from the property, and you disagree with the comparables used and the lot size and the building size and everything. Okay, so anything you'd like to add before we
about the damages, I have to do like a really emergency work within 2 years anyways. Like it's going to cost me a fortune. But
yeah, okay. Okay, so like I said, we have an understanding of where both parties are coming from, and we're gonna deliberate on all the evidence presented. That concludes 894 St. Mary's Road. Thank you to both parties for appearing, and you'll hear from us as soon as possible. We have heard all the items scheduled, and this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you, Sally.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan, or Mr. Valderrama, for appearing. Thank you.
Thank you.